It is no secret that Uncle Dana and the UFC do not treat all these fighters equally. Okay, champion or not, they do not like some of these dudes, man. I don't know why, alright? Whether it's the antics they put on, the ability to negotiate contract terms with them, or them just not liking their fighting styles as much and their ability to entertain the fans. Whatever it is, for whatever reason, big man Dana White and the UFC do not like certain fighters as much, and they really like other fighters, alright? And it shows in how they are treated. So today we are here to talk about some of the worst and some of the best treated UFC champions by big man Dana White and the UFC. Okay, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, so we're just going to begin right away with the most recent champion to have been completely disrespected, completely spat on by the UFC, had his whole career sidelined for over a year and a half, maybe even 2 years at this point, I don't know. But we got Tom Aspinall, okay? A very obvious pick. And yes, this dude is a fucking champion. When the official champion is ducking you and fucking fighting retired fighters instead of fighting the interim champion for over a year, the fans get to step in and decide who the real champions are. Alright? This is not just the people's champ. This is the undisputed official heavyweight champion of the world. Tom Aspinall is the real champion. Not only has Tom's whole career been sidelined, basically paused, he fucking pressed pause and his mom didn't let him resume until like 2 years later. And the UFC is his mom, okay? This is complete bullshit. This is wasting Aspinall's prime. Literal years off of his 30s. In his prime. And you know, this is just complete bullshit. Why the fuck is Dana White treating Tom Aspinall like you would treat a side chick, bruh? Why is he doing this? Okay? The exciting young champion who's knocking everyone out, putting on exciting pay-per-views for the fans, delivering every time, has a UK fan base behind him, who's known for being the most passionate fan base in the world almost, okay? Has the lowest fight time average of all time, bro. Do I need to keep going? Do I need to? You literally have to have no fucking IQ or brain power to put this guy on ice and to put him away to fucking rot and lose years of his prime. He's wasting his 30s. He's in his prime. Why are we making him be inactive? All for precious Jones bones. Alright, I know I'm asking a lot of questions out loud to myself here, guys. I know a lot of the answers to them. I'm just trying to get it out in the air so you hear how dumb it sounds. These questions are common sense. Why are we doing this? To protect Jones. But why would you protect a fighter who has max 2 fights left, most likely 1, maybe even 0, to ice this absolute badass, this absolute marauder of a fucking knockout artist, star as well? Tom Aspinall is a huge star, especially in the UK. Argue with the fucking wall. He's a big star. He's the most entertaining fighter on the roster right now. Delivers every single time. And he's a good guy. You know, and he's a good guy. He deserves good things to happen to him. He deserves a shot at the GOAT of the sport for legacy, especially with him not having much legacy options, not many big fights at heavyweight with it being a dead division. He's not able to go down to 205 unless he cuts an arm off or something. He's too big. So, yeah. Aspinall's being done so dirty, wasting his prime, wasting his potential. It's absolute, it's terrible. Jones is already the popular GOAT. He doesn't need the help, man. He doesn't need a push, okay? He does not need any more help. Everyone already thinks it, alright? Cheating or not, wife beater or not, everyone already says he's the GOAT, man. Let's just move on. There's not much else to say on the whole Tom Aspinall situation. You know, I know he's the worst treated UFC champion in history, okay? It's terrible. It's blasphemy what they're doing to my boy. Alright, I love Tom Aspinall. With the passion, he's the GOAT of just being a cool guy. Alright, and he's funny as fuck. So let's just move on to an example of one of the best treated UFC fighters. The best. A guy we were just talking about pretty passionately. Jon Bones Jones, alright? The popular GOAT. Easily, clearly, the best treated UFC champion of all time. Even over McGregor. Jones has always been treated specially by the UFC. He's always had special treatment. We're going to get to that, but we're going to start with the most recent incident. The incident of Jon Jones hijacking heavyweight, hijacking the UFC heavyweight belt for 2 years, holding it hostage, forcing the division into, like, nothingness. It's literally a nothing division. I'm not saying it's stacked. It's probably the worst division in the UFC right now. It is, but Tom Aspinall is the guy to revive it and bring it back, and they're denying him that. Instead, we're having Jones hijack the belt, fighting retired fighters instead of fighting the interim defending champion, by the way. Jones gets to fight a old retired Stipe. And we obviously all know why the UFC and Dana do this. We all know why Dana's up there at his press conferences defending Jon Jones with his life.
Jon Jones is a whole nother. I consider Jon Jones the greatest combat fighter of all time.
Being made to look a fool. It's because they want a clear GOAT, okay? They want to say they had the GOAT at the UFC. And that's obvious, you know? It's obvious what they want. They want to just have a clear GOAT that everyone believes, yep, that's the guy. No denying it. Everyone believes it. If you don't know anything about the sport, man. You just don't know. Yeah, that's what they want. So they sacrificed a whole division for that. Even though it was already the popular opinion. It didn't need to be done. And that's not it. The UFC has obviously treated Jon Jones very well in the past. Literally moving UFC 232 from Nevada to California because the Nevada State Athletic Commission, USADA, I don't know, somebody considered Jon Jones a cheater. They did not clear him medically. He wasn't allowed to fight in Nevada. So they move a whole UFC pay-per-view event to a different state so he can fight. So they can have their cheating, roid shooting, wife beating, boy kissing GOAT. And they can have him fight. And they can have him get another defense. And revenge one of his most competitive fights. Knocking out Gustafsson. Ending the rivalry. Dude, fuck the UFC for that. That is just blasphemy. I really just don't understand the UFC's mindset in ruining the whole integrity of the sport for Jon Jones nowadays. Especially when he has max 2 fights left. Probably only 1. And he's gonna smudge them out of every penny they have, squeeze them dry of every cent they can give him. Probably gonna get the 30 million just to make the fight that he's asking for. Or is it 40 million? I don't even know. This dude wants all the money they got, all right? I know the UFC can afford to do it. Does he deserve it? No. All right, he's probably has 1 fight left, and maybe even has 0. Maybe the fight doesn't happen and he just retires, and he's just delaying it to fuck with Tom Aspinall's career out of spite for clowning him publicly and having the whole fan base turn on him because of Tom's I was gonna say antics, Tom's antics, but all this dude did was call for a fight when he's the interim champion, man. He just wants his belt. He just wants his gold medal instead of his silver because he deserves a shot at the gold. All right? Fuck, man, it doesn't make any sense. The UFC, they piss me off sometimes, man. Let's move on to another badly treated champion. Holy shit, man. Aljamain Sterling. Dude, this guy was treated like Hitler by the whole UFC and the fans when he was a champion. His whole run, bro, people hated him. All right, up until he lost the belt, and then people were like, yeah, he's chill. I kind of didn't like him at his first defense, but then I kind of just got over it, you know. Obviously, everyone hated him and hated on him because of the asterisks next to all of his defenses. Okay, you obviously have him getting the belt off of an injury, and then he beat I don't know if this is the order, but he beat a injured Dillashaw, you know, and then he beat an old rusty Cejudo, and it was really close, you know. Asterisks, you know, bullshit. He's still one of the best bantamweight champions of all time. Okay, he's top 3, probably. He's probably top 3, you know, maybe top 2. I don't think he's the best, that's for sure, but he's definitely top 3. So that was really what caused all the fans to hate him. But then the UFC, man, they treated this dude like shit. Like, they did not promote him at all. I remember never seeing anything going on for most of his pay-per-views. They did not stack them. They treated him like shit promotion-wise. And they made this dude defend his belt 2 short months after going 5 hard rounds against Cejudo. They made him fight Sean O'Malley. Oh my god. I don't want to say his worst matchup style, but I mean, a guy with good defensive grappling who can put your lights out and catch your chin when you have a really weird, funky striking style that's not really the best against counter strikers. Yeah, it was kind of he was meant to lose this. He was made to lose that fight, okay? I remember not believing it. It was insane at the time. Good on Sean for getting it done, but man, 2.5 short months after going 5 rounds against a former double champ, this dude has to defend his belt. You got Sean Shelby or whoever it was, Hunter, whoever it was, convincing this dude. We all know that. We've seen the clip. Convincing him, yeah, man, I really think this will be good for your career, man. You'll be a star. Think about it. You beat Sugar, you're a star. This dude gets knocked the fuck out. Oh my god. Yeah, the UFC not only gaslit this dude into taking this fight, it was forcefully. I don't think he was keeping that belt if he turned it down. I would not have been surprised if they had stripped him if he had turned down that Sean fight when they wanted it, okay? It was bullshit. That should have never happened. That was terrible. Yeah, they treated him terrible. And the fans did as well. This is more so the fans in this situation, but the UFC was just as bad in this situation. Next, let's talk about a greatly treated UFC champion by Dana White and the UFC. This may be Dana White's second favorite fighter. Okay, he defends him at every point, gives him every opportunity that he never deserves. Israel Adesanya is probably the second best treated UFC champion of all time. Okay, this dude gets every benefit of every doubt, every benefit of the doubt he gets. He always gets it. If it's a close decision against Robert Whittaker in the rematch, he's getting the fucking belt, okay? Those judges, you'll do what you're fucking told, alright? That's what was said. You'll do what you're told. You'll put down the scorecard that we won, alright? I'm not saying the UFC is rigged in any way, but am I saying they're told that if it's close, give it to the champion? Maybe they're told that. All right. And yeah, Israel Adesanya literally got whatever he wanted, and this has been stated by Chael. He agrees. He says this. He always preaches this. Israel Adesanya makes a call out, and he gets it. Whoever he wanted through his champion run, he got. Okay, he got Yoel Romero when he didn't even deserve a title shot. He wanted that fight because it was a cool, big legacy fight, I guess, a legend of the game. He wanted it, and he got it, okay? He gets whatever he wants. He's a star. I can't argue that. He's a big star. But he's also one of the most pushed, down our throat UFC champions of all time, okay? You were forced to see this guy. You were forced to like him. You were forced to see him at every corner, all right? And honestly, I wouldn't have included him on this list if it wasn't for his undeserved ass title shot against Dricus, alright? I get it. That was the fight to make. There was a lot of trash talk, a lot of fire in the air, good build up. The fight sold well, I'm sure. It was a hype fight. I'm glad we got to see it. It was cool seeing Dricus sub him, alright? But man, I've never seen a more undeserved title shot. This dude, hey, props to him. He was a long-reigning champion. He obviously gets the rematch with Pereira. But he beats Pereira again, and then he gets 50-45 by Sean Strickland. You don't get another title shot, alright? Sean lost the belt, obviously, after that to Dricus. But, man, that doesn't matter. That's literally so dumb. I was so mad when that happened, just because, bro, does he just get unlimited title shots because they want him to get them? He should not have got that title shot. He should have had to fight Hamzat or somebody in the meantime to earn that title shot against Dricus. That was so undeserved. That was an example of the UFC treating him so well. And Rogan loves this dude as well. They all love him. Izzy's a fucking legend. Fun fighter at times. Fun knockouts at times. But, it doesn't mean we all have to like him. Okay? He's kind of, annoying. Okay, I'm just going to say that. But yeah, one of the best treated UFC champions. Next, we're going to talk about an obvious one. I know. Demetrious Johnson was the most disrespected fighter of all time. He wasn't the worst treated champion because Aspinall exists, but Demetrious Johnson was so disrespected, man. Literally the flyweight GOAT. He will be forever. One of the best of all time. exciting fighter. You couldn't call him boring. The only argument Dana had and the UFC had for why they wouldn't give him good cards, wouldn't stack his cards, wouldn't pay him money, wouldn't even pay the best in the world like 500K up until the end of his career when he had like 2 or 3 fights getting that pay. He was getting like, dude, like 50 to 80 or 100K for his title wins. That's ridiculous. This dude is one of the best fighters in the world. He deserves to be getting paid millions per fight. Dude, it's complete bullshit how he was treated. He deserved better, so much better. And when they tried to force him to fight TJ Dillashaw, trying to do him you'll do what you're told, like they tried to bitch him, he sticks up for himself because he's like, I'm not getting paid for this, I'm not doing this. Give me money and I'll do it. And they refuse to give him money, so he's like, I'm not doing it. Like, what the fuck, man? You gotta give him, that's not how it works, okay? The UFC, I love them, but they are so unfair. And I'm not going to say they don't pay their fighters enough. But when it comes to their champion not getting paid even 500K for most of their defenses. Bro, I had like 10 defenses or something. I forget. Was it 12? I don't even know. But ridiculous. He was severely underpaid, not promoted by the UFC or Dana. Dana disrespected him after interview after interview after interview. Just terrible. Okay. It was kind of the Jones problem where the fans got sick of him too because, well, this is just such a dumb thing. I would never think of a fighter this way. But a lot of fans back then, I guess, hated Jones and Demetrious because it was boring because no one could beat him. And the UFC was boring because they were just beating everybody. If anything, that makes it more exciting because every fight it's like, oh my god, this guy might be the guy, you know? But what do I know? All right. Fans are stupid, including me. I'm stupid in a lot of ways too, but not in that way, okay? The UFC should have treated Demetrious Johnson better. Then they traded him away for that boring old fucker. Like, oh my god, man. Just, the UFC, man, they make some bad fucking decisions. Next, we got to talk about Sean O'Malley, all right? One of the best treated UFC champions, okay? Now, this dude is a star. He's an exciting fighter. He has the personality. But he really is the definition of an industry plant star. He's an industry plant, man. Like, he's not because he is that guy. He's knocking out world champions. He's knocking out almost everyone in all of his fights. He's putting on exciting fights. Could probably be better on the mic, but, you know, that's not what matters. All right, that's not really that important. This dude was fast-tracked to a title shot kind of crazily. Like, after he got no decisioned on, who was it against? Pedro Munoz, the guy you eye poked? Yeah, that's the guy. After that happened, he should not have been rewarded Peter fucking Yan, a #1 contenders fight for that, okay? He should have had to fight another fighter lower in the rankings at that point, you know? So he was kind of fast-tracked to a title, which I get. You're going to try to get the stars to the belt opportunities faster. I get it, but not that bad, man. You should have had him work his way just a little bit more. All right, maybe he'd still be champion if he did. Or maybe he never would have been champ if he had to do it like every other contender. Who knows? All I'm saying is they treat him really good. Especially, I forgot, this is the main point of this. They're giving him the rematch, it seems like, against Merab. It really seems like it. Corey got a fight. He's fighting Figgy, apparently. Merab, he wants to be active. Sean hasn't fought since that fight. He's obviously going to fight in the next couple of months. It's probably just going to be the rematch. Like, Dana's at press conferences talking about, I mean, yeah, the fans want to see it, so we don't want to fucking see it, bro. We don't. I speak for everyone. We don't. I want Sean to get one win, then I want to see it, okay? I want to see him fight a Corey or a Jan rematch. I don't know, something impressive, something good that shows his grappling is improving and he can still get a good win, because you never know. After a performance like that, man, his confidence might be ruined and he might never be the same, you know? Not saying Merab really did anything bad to him, you know? I'm not saying he really hurt him, because he really didn't, but man, I just want to see him get a win, not an immediate rematch off of one defense, all right? And they gave him Marlon Vera for his first title defense, who didn't deserve that title shot at all, just so he could avenge the one loss he had. Like, they just gave Sean whatever he wanted, you know? I'm not as big of a hater on Sean as a lot of people. I didn't really mind it at the time, because I was enjoying it. He was an exciting fighter. I enjoyed every one of his fights up until the Marab fight. But yeah, now looking back, it was pretty bad. You know, he's treated really favorably by the UFC. This is a big example of a good treated UFC champion. That's really it, man. I mean, I could talk about Conor McGregor, I could talk about Tyrone Woodley, but in reality, Woodley wasn't treated that badly. He really wasn't. And McGregor was treated good for a reason. All right? He was the biggest star of all time. He always will be. He kind of deserved to be treated that way. I mean, yeah, the whole double champ attempts after no defenses was pretty bullshit, but it doesn't make me mad like all these other ones, okay? At least Conor kind of deserved it in a way. I'm not saying star power is all that matters, but all these other examples, like Jones being treated that well, Conor being treated that well didn't completely fuck up divisions, and Conor was active, and he was exciting, and he wasn't a cheater. So, I don't really mind McGregor being treated the way he was, but, I mean, yeah, he was one of the best treated UFC champions of all time. But yeah, who really cares? He's McGregor, okay? We'll probably never see him fight again. Rest in peace. That's the video. That's all the worst and best treated UFC champions that really stand out to me. All right, that's the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.